Hi, YouTube. As always, let's do a sound check. All right. It is working. All right, give me a moment. Let me go live here on TikTok, live on Instagram, and live on Facebook. Hello, hello, my people. Hi, 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 and welcome. Facebook, you can do it. Oh, the live ended on Facebook. Goodbye. Goodbye. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Today we're talking about emotional control. I will be talking about emotional control. I promised yesterday that when I come today, I will talk about emotional control. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Welcome, welcome. If this is your first time here, I generally talk about adverse childhood experiences, childhood trauma. I'm trying to go live on Facebook, so just please bear with me because the live stopped when I tried to go live. So I'm doing it the second time to see, and then we will go straight into the topic, emotional control. I believe that, hi Sheikh 5 star. Yes, emotional control is very important. It took me a long time. Facebook is not going, so I'm gonna leave it. It took me Grand Rising. Hi, Yvonne. Yvonne Brown. Hello, hello. You thought I am Nigerian. I am Nigerian. Why not? Of course, I'm Nigerian. I am Nigerian. It took me a long time to understand the importance of emotional control, but many of us born from or in the African continent, but also outside of the continent, there's many of us that we're never talked to about these issues. We've never heard our parents talk about these issues, right? So when I talk about childhood trauma and adverse childhood experiences, I am targeting people that look like me, wherever you are in the world, wherever you are, I am talking to you. But at the same time, I do have a lot of people who come on and also share that they've gone through this. Share, yes, Africans don't do emotions. No, we don't do emotions. We don't talk about emotions. It is really our downfall because now we raise children who don't understand the power that we carry internally. We don't understand that all our power is within us. Some of us don't even know what manifestation is. But if you don't know emotional control, you can't control your emotions. You don't know who you are. It will be very difficult to manifest anything. It will be difficult to create your life. I was talking about creating our life yesterday, right? The law of assumption. And this is all part of emotional control. Now, when I talk about emotional control or just emotions as a whole, I'm not talking about it in the way that people like to talk down on women, as in women are so emotional. Men should not cry. I'm not talking about these things. I'm talking about being raised and being taught that our life as a whole depends on our emotions. Whether you're emotional, whether you're emotionally unavailable, which I like to call emotionally constipated, still our life, our happiness whether we go further in life, whether we stay stuck in life, most of the sicknesses that we go through stems from emotional control or the lack thereof. There's also emotional intelligence, right? But to put it short, we can just say emotional control. I'll start, I'll tell you a story of how I was raised. You can share yours as well, and then we can talk about it. When I look down, I'm looking at the computer to see if anybody on YouTube wrote a comment. The way that I was raised, right, in my household, it was fashionable, or people felt good to go off, to be angry, to be mad, to be hot tempered, to the point where it is fashionable to say, oh, don't speak to your uncle, he's very hot tempered. And for me personally, that uncle that everybody said was hot tempered turned out to be my closest friend because I could talk to him. Right? We still see it everywhere. Wherever you are, you probably see people, or maybe it is yourself, who would say, because I used to be that person has nothing on me. When they talk to me, I said this, I said this, I said that. Women. Men, the same thing. Men will say that. Oh, I don't know how men talk when they're together, right? I knocked him out. I did this to him. I did that to him. But then we don't know that we are not being able, me too, share. Absolutely. Right? We're not being able to control our emotions. And if you cannot control your emotions, you personally, as a human being, you go out of control. And when you go out of control, your life is out of control. Then you cannot get your life together because everything depends on our emotions. People usually say, oh, and I used to be this person too. I will work on a project, and then something happens and I can't control myself. And then I get very angry, and then things fall apart, and I have to build it up again. And at that point, I didn't know that all these things were happening because of my emotions. One trigger, one person can trigger me, one thing can trigger me, and then I would lose my mind completely, absolutely, and have no idea what is going wrong or what I'm doing wrong. But also, many of us, myself included, we were raised in a way that either we were spanked, whooped, bitten at home. It didn't matter what you did or what you didn't do, where you went or where you didn't go, what you said or what you didn't say, right? Some kids are even afraid to sneeze at home because they know that if they sneeze, they're going to have a whooping. And if you study the laws of the universe, one of the most powerful things or the important thing is to never go to bed angry, frustrated, feeling poor, feeling helpless, feeling broke. Never do that. But many of us were raised in a way that when we were children, our parents will continuously hit us, and then we fall asleep angry, hating our parents. Or at night, hello, Alhaj, we fall asleep angry, tired, unhappy. And that is that continues right in our life. I am doing wonderful, as you can see, and that continues in our life. Good day, Afrocentric. Hi, welcome. And it becomes the cycle of continuously or always, Rich Rise and Maisha, hi, always being in this. I can use agitated, but I don't want to use agitated. This hyper, is it hyperventilated? This hyper. you're you're doing wonderful and looking wonderful, and I am doing wonderful and looking wonderful, feeling wonderful as well. Not, is it hyperventilated? No. The people that have ADHD, they're hyper. So most of us grew up in houses around people, environments where we were always in that hyper state of what's going to happen next, right? Are they going to hit me? Can I do this? Can I do that? So we are always in that hyper vigilant, in that hyper vigilant mood where our emotions cannot calm down. We cannot calm down. There's a saying that when you go to the animal kingdom, right? The animals also experience trauma or this hypervigilance. When a lion is running after a gazelle or whatever animal to eat that gazelle is in that hypervigilant mood, right? That hyperness, figuring out what's going on, what's happening, right? And then, hi, city girl, welcome and thank you. But it gets to a point, say, if the lion did not catch the gazelle and the gazelle is able to calm down, then what happens? Then the animal is able to calm their nerves, process that, and continue on with their lives. But for those of us that were raised with adverse childhood trauma or in homes where we're constantly hit, or alcoholic parents, domestic abuse, physical, mental, emotional, sexual abuse, we never had the opportunity to process our emotions or to calm down. It never happened. Hi, Leica. We were always in that hypervigilant mood, and then we grew up like that. And we go out in the street, and people say, at least for us women, we are aggressive, we are not calm, blah, blah, blah. All these labels they say, but one thing people don't ask is, but how was she raised? In the home that she was raised, was she ever given the opportunity to be in touch with her emotions? And the answer is always 100% no. We were never given the opportunity to be in touch with our emotions, right? And now, most of us who have never been on the healing journey, when we have children, we can see it in our children. And we always say, oh, the child is so hyper. But we don't think the child is hyper because I am hyper and I raise my child like that. Hello, hello, tickle me. Valor Salon. I like the Valor. Welcome. We never had the opportunity to process our emotions. And this is where the lack of emotional control or the lack of emotional intelligence comes into play. And without emotional intelligence or emotional control, this is when we attract narcissists in any form, be it a boss, a co-worker, a relationship partner, romantic relationship, friends. We attract them into our life, and we always wonder, why am I always around these people? Because emotionally, these are the only people that make us feel alive. Like I always say, toxicity is exciting, peace is boring. And I'm not saying that to say that's how it is. I'm saying if you're not healed from your trauma, toxicity always feels very exciting. The things that are peaceful or the partners and the friends that are peaceful feel boring because there's nothing going on. Doing these lives have been a way for me to really exercise my emotional control, obviously, because anybody and everybody can come and say anything that they want in the chats. But if you look at it in your life, can somebody come in front of you and say something you don't like and you bite your tongue? And not bite your tongue in a, I'm going to kill this person. No, you are able to calm yourself down and you decide deep within yourself, within those 2 seconds, whether you want to respond or not. And even when you don't respond, it is not a painful thing where when you go home or you leave that place, you start ruminating in your head. I wish I told him that. I should have told them that. Oh, this person. And then you are fighting with them inside of your head. This is also part of lack of emotional control. Because when you're fighting with somebody in your head, what happens is the next time you see them, you're going to fight with them in person. Because you're constantly fighting with them in your head. Another thing about lack of emotional control, and I mentioned it briefly, is your life, your entire life becomes a mess because you take everything personally. And the person, I learned emotional control when I went to the real world, when I joined Hustlers University, because there you have to be able to take care of your emotions. It's 200 to 300 plus people in one campus, well, online, but different campuses. And at any point, just like here, going live, people say whatever they want. And some people don't even know what they are saying. And I have mentioned here how it used to be very difficult for me, very difficult for me to let people think what they want to think about me without me having this absolute itch and need to make people understand me. This is all a part of emotional control. When you get to the point where whether people understand you or not, it doesn't matter to you. You can just let go of the conversation. And as I mentioned, when somebody says something to you, you can choose whether you want to answer or you don't. And even when you don't answer, it's not killing you inside. Most of us would always say, but why did that person say that to me? Why would that person say that to me? I used to be this person too, who's always wondering, why is that person acting like that towards me? Why is that person saying that to me? Don't they know who I am? Many of us do that. But the only reason we do that is because we don't have any emotional control. We can't control our emotions. We can't control how we feel, right? The environment and the people around us are controlling us. That is why there's so many advertisements. That is why television is so cheap to buy, right? You can buy television, you can finance it so that the news, whatever there is, can control us emotionally. There's something called psychology of selling, where you tap into the emotions of the people so they buy what you're selling. If it's something they need, that's a different story. If it's something that's going to change their lives, that's a different story. But many a time, a lot of the advertisements that we see, we have no use for these products. But there's the psychology of selling, where it's emotions. You tap into the emotions of the person to make them need what you are selling or what you are offering. So a lot of us think that we have free will, or I can do whatever I want, or we go to the stores to buy something and we believe we are making the decision to go and buy these things. And many a time we are not. There is something driving us. We saw a friend wearing it, somebody talk about it, the television played it over and over and over, right? The crowd, as people, human beings, we like to be part of the crowd, part of the herd. Everybody's doing it, so I want to do it too. Lack of emotional control, which is why I love and honor the saying by Oprah Winfrey. Do you got a business website? Yes, I do. I sell health and wellness products, also affiliate to Hustlers University. Anything you want to learn about money. But when you say business website, what do you mean? I'm in network marketing. So we network, market, sell, change lives, and transform lives. So it depends what your needs are. So what was I saying? I forgot it. Um, okay, let me take it from there. Take a drink of water. The saying by Oprah Winfrey. She always say, when you see someone, um, and I want to use the saying, being out of pocket. When you see someone behaving not really weird, because I don't like to use normal, because what is normal, right? When you see someone behaving in ways that you truly believe that something might be happening to them, going off, running in the streets, temper tantrums out there, acting like a child, whatever, whatever, don't ask. You are very welcome, Tikumi. Don't ask, what is wrong with this person? And most of us are raised that way. We see people going through their own whatever it is, and we always say, what's wrong with this person? Instead of asking, your skin color is nice. Thank you. I absolutely love my skin color. Instead of asking, what happened to them? What happened to this person? Every single person that you see acting in some kind of way, always ask yourself, what happened to this person? Because you also don't know, maybe you act the same way if you are able to pick up on the way that they are behaving. Because many people don't even know that there is something called emotional control or emotional intelligence. I was there until my late 20s. That is when I started the journey of learning to understand my emotions, of why I act the way I act and why I behave the way I behave. I've met a lot of people along the way. That's another thing, right? Because when you get to a certain point where you understand these things, that many of us are battling with these spirits because they are spirits within us. When you understand it, it gives you empathy to be able to deal with another human being, right? Like Afrocentric said the other time, um, what is it called? The human condition. The human condition. You are able to see the human condition, like this person here asking me what my point is. You are able to see I mean, do you own the website that are selling the products? You want to buy the products? Does it matter if I own the website or not? I don't understand the question. Like, what would that change? My voice is clear. Thank you, Ibrahim Anyan. When you're able to see the human condition, what ends up happening is you don't just shush people away. You are not mean to people. You are able to walk with people. You are able to help people. You're able to understand that there are ways that people talk, they are calling for help, they're asking for help, they're crying for help, but they themselves don't know that they are crying for help. And the reason I said that is that today, just thinking about this topic of emotional control, I was thinking about my journey and the person that I used to be and how I used to act and how I used to talk to people. And I was remembering quite a number of people that I met along my way. And I always wondered, you know, maybe they didn't know. Or I would think to myself, I don't know how they looked at me. I don't know how they thought, who they thought I was, right? I wish I could go back to those relationships and change the dynamic. I wish. When you say I wish, it's always regret. But I'm not saying it as in I regret that relationship, but it was a learning point. And so I would always wonder where they awaken to themselves. You can think about it as well. If you are on your healing journey, the people and the person that you used to be, if you have not started your healing journey to heal yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, just think about the people in your life, nothing lost that can't be found away again. Thank you, David. Right? Think about yourself and the people. Hi, billionaire Bree. Welcome. Think about the people that you've had issues with and sit back and reflect. You might not be awakened to yourself. Good afternoon, Julie. Welcome. But also think, put yourself in their shoes. Maybe they are not in touch with their emotions. Maybe they are not awakened to themselves, right? Maybe they are not. Because maybe, and just maybe, if they were awakened to themselves, they would have handled you differently. They would have handled you differently. They would have talked to you differently. They would have acted with you differently. How do I know? Because I have a friend, exactly. I have a friend who's a meditation teacher. And for some reason, we are just spiritually connected in a way that's weird. Right? She was born in New York, upstate New York. I was born in the Gambia, West Africa. But spiritually, we're always connected. And for some reason, one way or the other, we would always connect when she is going through her own awakening or when I'm going through my own awakening. And the way that we handle each other emotionally, I have known this woman for about 7 years now. And the issues that I have with other people, I don't have it with her. We can sit down together, dig deep within ourselves, and talk. So, depending on the environments that you are in. Maybe you have gone through your healing journey, you know yourself a lot better, but there are 9 people, because they say bad people in the world are just 9, and wherever you go you find one. There are 9 people who always trigger you, then maybe that's the place that you're not supposed to be. And I understood that when constantly, whenever I go and visit this lady, whenever I go and meet her, whenever I whenever I go and meet her, whenever I go and visit her, the way we act, the way we talk, the outcome of our meeting and the visit, when I leave, she would always tell me, "Oh, I can see why you came." And I would tell her, "Yes, I can see why we had to meet as well." Thank you, Mr. Ask Sam. Well, I don't know why you missed it. I don't know. Maybe you can reflect on that. Why do you always skip it? So, to wrap it up, to wrap it up, your life depends on your emotion. Our life depends on how well we can control ourselves. If you've been here before, I always say that masculinity is healthy, aggressiveness is healthy, anger is healthy. It's not toxic. It becomes toxic when it's out of control in both men and women. When you just go completely off and there's no stopping you, there's no stopping point. This is where we have all the diseases and the pains and the school shootings and the shooting each other because the person didn't show me respect, or shooting each other for $5 or whatever pounds or whatever dollar C or whatever it is. This is when these things happen. Why? Because societally, we have twisted the issue. Yes, it's important to feel how you feel. Yes, it's absolutely important to feel your emotions. I don't know about you, but for me, very rarely did I hear anybody say, feel how you feel, but be able to control how you feel so you are able to see clearly. They usually say, feel how you feel. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to do this, this. And they say it to both men and women. This is why most of the issues that we have in society, we have them because many of us don't know where we start and end and where the next person starts and end, right? So our everything is just merged and meshed up together in wall of jahaso. Yepa jahaso. Everything is just meshed up together. So you meet someone, you absorb all their negativity and their emotions and whatever. And then you go home and you don't know why these pains and problems and issues and your life falling apart is happening. It's because you've gone and picked up everybody's emotions and everybody's pain, and you cannot see yourself anymore. Hello, Miss Juliet. Welcome. You can't feel yourself anymore. You can't see yourself anymore. And you lose yourself in the process. Which is why they say you need a vision. Because if you don't have a vision, then you're going to further somebody else's vision. Because somebody with a vision, they can pull you in mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Scary. It is absolutely scary, right? The more I study it, the more I understand it within myself. That's the exact word that I say. This is scary. Because if you don't know it, you just go through life wondering, why is this person acting like that? Why is this person talking to me like that? I trusted this person and look what they did to me. I love this person. Look what they did to me. I was good to this person. I am a nice, oh, I am a nice person. The nice girl or the nice guy syndrome. Being so nice, everybody walks over you is another part of the issue. It's both. It's both. I studied psychology, studied Afrocentric consciousness, and also my own life journey, just understanding how I was raised and adverse childhood experiences. See, all these things coupled together. But the moment you're able to, this is what boundaries are. And I've talked about boundaries before. It's time, I need to go. I've talked about boundaries before. Boundaries is not for other people. You don't have boundaries for other people. You have boundaries for yourself. There's an African speaker who continuously say, our self needs control. Our self needs control. Write a book eventually. Right? So you have a boundary so you can take care of yourself. So you can understand yourself. So you can be in touch with yourself. You don't put up a boundary just so that the person cannot get in touch with you or do this to you or do that to you. That is you being stuck and just folding up within yourself. But when you are able to free up yourself and you have boundaries for yourself, I know if I eat this and eat this and eat this and eat this, it's going to make me feel this way. So I'm going to figure out a way that I'm going to eat it and it's not going to make me feel that way. I know if I don't work out, if I don't exercise, this is how my body feels. So I'm going to figure out a way to put exercise in my routine. I know that when it comes to money, this is how my parents and whatever my family acted with money. So I'm going to learn about money, financial literacy, and understand why I behave this way with money. When I get into a relationship, when I have friends, this is how my friendships and relationships always end up, because we always have that story of whenever I have a friend, this is always how the relationship end up. Whenever I have a boyfriend, this is always how, well, boyfriend, husband, whatever you call it, girlfriend, this is always how the relationship ends. Now you know that. So it means there's something wrong with your boundaries. It means there is still lack of emotional control somewhere, somehow in your life, which means it is time to sit back and reflect and ask yourself, why do I do the things that I do? Why do I act the way that I act? You're very welcome, Ibrahim Anyan. Come back tomorrow. Why do I act the way that I act? Why do I behave the way that I behave? Why do I attract the people that I attract in my life? I've mentioned this before, right? How I was the nicest person. But now that I'm truly, truly in touch with myself, when I talk to people, they say, oh my God, you are so rude. Less than 1 year, just a couple of months. I have had that told to me probably 5 times, 5 different people. Less than 6 months, 5 different people. But I was being true to myself, understanding what hurts me and understanding me. So it goes to that point. If you still want to be loved, want to be seen, want to be heard, want to be validated, there's still lack of emotional control. So I'm going to close because I went 5 minutes longer, right? But I'm going to leave you with these questions because these are the questions that I always ask myself. Psychologically, spiritually, it's very good for self-reflection. Ask yourself, why do I do the things that I do? Why do I act the way that I act? Why do I behave the way that I behave? But most importantly, why do I attract the people that I attract in my life? Because if there's somebody in your life right now driving you crazy, it has nothing to do with that person. And it has everything to do with you. Because you attracted them into your life. And you let them into your life. So you are the common denominator. So the problem, the accountability, the responsibility is in your hands and not necessarily in their hands. Thank you to Miss Juliet. Always wonderful to see you here. Bye, everybody. I'll see you here again tomorrow. I cooked Benachin. Where are the Gambians? I cooked Benachin. Benachin. How do you say